Welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Charlene. On Tuesday morning, villagers from Sarzora came out in protest and raised their voice against the government's plan to divert the Sarzora lake water to Verna and Murmugao. Locals said that already several parts of the village are facing water crisis, and they alleged that with this plan, their livelihood will be at risk and also have a bad impact on the natural ecosystem. Watch.
Villagers from Sarzora came out in protest and raised their voice against the government's plan to divert the Sarzora lake water to Verna and Murmugao Taluka. Locals said already several parts of the village and nearby villages are also facing acute water crisis. And they also alleged that if this plan is activated, their livelihood will be at risk. Not only their livelihood, but also the natural ecosystem will be at risk and have a bad impact. Watch to what they have to say.
The government is trying to tap the water from our lake to Murmugao, which we are objecting because if the water levels of our lake goes down, then our wells will be dried. Though we have tap water, that is the government water, but still our villages are dependent on well water. So instead of the government should save Madai river, so instead of attacking our Sarzora lake, the government should focus more on saving the Madai river.
हे शेत आमी आतां रोयता पयल्याचो रोवन आमी हळी जाले आनी शेताचेर आमी वयस जाले शेत रोवन शेतां वचोन आनी दुसरें म्हळ्यार हे आतां 8 टोडी वेटलँड मुगेले एक आमगे थोडे आनी हे वेटलँड आहा ते ते ड्राय लँड करून सोदताय हा हितू हे कोण आनी उदक आम दिना म्हणाय आमी दिताय कोणा एमर्जन्सी जाय मनशाक ह्युमन यूज जाय ते उदक व्हरोन जाता पूण हे कमर्शियल यूज न्हू तांकां जाय ती प्लांट बसय हऱ्या उदकाचो आनी कन्वर्ट करया आनी हेज करया बडी कोताय तशें करून
Water levels are going down because of our Madai. The first reason. आम कितू तेंप जालो कितू आतां म्हयने जाले जोगताय आमगे Madai डायवर्ट कोनाक म्हूण तुमी आयक नाय तुमी आतां ते डायवर्ट करपाक सारके रेडी जानासाय आनी आतां तुमी यू आर गोइंग इन द विलेजीस टू टॅप द लेक्स वीच आर देर ह्यो आमगे वॉटर बॉडीज आमगेल्यो सांबाळडलो हाय आमकां पुर्वजांनी त्यो आमकां ते गांवांक आमकां म्हणचे एक वॉटर बॉडी सोजोडे आहा ती सोजोकारांक ती दाबोली आहा ती दाबोलीकारांक So you just cannot come in the village and say, "Aang tunge udo ata marmogo."
Zaditi Abidre for Herald TV.
With the arrival of monsoon season, the authorities had decided to postpone the work on the Santines Creek until after the monsoon season. However, despite previous efforts to desilt the creek, the presence of floating waste has been observed. The authorities have once again commenced the process of clearing the creek. However, concern has arisen due to the presence of piles of mud that have been deposited alongside the creek. With the arrival of the monsoons, there is a risk that these mud piles could potentially flow back into the creek, exacerbating the problem.
With the arrival of monsoon season, the authorities had decided to postpone the work on the Santines Creek until after the monsoon season. However, despite previous efforts to distill this creek, the presence of floating waste had been observed. The authorities have once again commenced the process of clearing the creek. However, a concern has risen due to the presence of piles of mud that have been deposited alongside the creek. Now, with the arrival of monsoon, there is a risk that these mud piles could potentially flow back into the creek, further aggravating the problem. Sagan Gowdy for Herald TV.
Parents and students are facing great inconvenience at the integrated school complex in Kojira as the footpath construction work has remained incomplete. When Heraldo team visited the complex on Monday afternoon, it was found that the Goa State Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, appointed contractor executing the work, had abandoned the site. Paver blocks and other construction materials were lying along one of the two lanes within the school complex. A portion of the second lane stretch has been excavated and rainwater was accumulated, leaving little space. Students and parents were forced to walk on the road even as four-wheelers and two-wheelers were seen plying on the same stretch.
When contacted Harish Adkankar, Managing Director of GSIDC, to question why the contractor has abandoned the site without completing the construction work of the footpath, Adkankar claimed that the site has not been abandoned by the contractor. It's not that the work is not going on, we have to work only during the second half of the day, because during school hours we cannot work. So the contractor will be concentrating on the area in front of the office of the Sports Authority of Goa, then he will cover the outer areas. The GSIDC MD said.
आज जे पळयता तुमी आज भायर पळयला आज जे कोणाकूय आता फाल्यां ही शॉक जाले की पडलो घुसपून जाल्यार कोण जबाबदार आज हे गव्हर्मेंट बरें काम करता वायट न्हू बेस्ट काम करता मात हे काम करता न्हू कॉन्ट्रॅक्टराक ती जबाबदारी आसूंक जाय ती इंजिनियरान येवन पळोवंक जाय की बाबा काम हे कंप्लीट करता काय ना आतां पळय आयज जे 2 म्हयने जाला काम करपाक टायम आसलो कळ्ळें तुका की बाबा वेकेशन हॉलिडे आसली हे काम करपाक कंप्लीट करपाक जातालें मागीर कित्याक करूंक ना हे इतले म्हाजे क्वेश्चन मार्क गव्हर्मेंटा कडेन हे जाता इतले बेगीन करचें आतां फाल्यां मुस्तीपण इस्कॉल सुट्टे काय ना स्मॅक जाता भुरगे खंयचे खंय धांवता ते पळयता तुमी आयज भुरग्यांक कितें प्रॉब्लेम जाता तो फाल्यां डेम्पो कॉलेज स्टार्ट जावपाची आहा डेम्पे कॉलेज जातकीच आनीक स्मॅक जाता मागीर कोण जबाबदार हांव हे गव्हर्मेंटा कडेन बेगींतले बेगीन मागता रिक्वेस्ट ते कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर काडून मातशें रिक्वेस्ट काम करून बेगींतले बेगीन घेवचें हांव गव्हर्मेंटा बाबतींत कांयच विचारना की गव्हर्मेंट काम बेस्ट करता हे तेजेर फक्त सोल्युशन काडपाक जाय जाता इतले बेगीन कोण काम करता काय ना तो की तेजेर मातशें पळोवचें लक्ष मारचें इंजिनियराची जबाबदारी आसता ती येवन तेणी पळोवचें काम हे करता काय ना ते आयज कोणूच कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर ना हाचेर हॉलिडे आता कंप्लीट जाली
कितले दीस जाले काम बंद आसा हे
आता म्हयनो जालो आता इस्कॉलाक आता 15-20 जाले स्कूल स्टार्ट जाल्ल्या
काम बंद आसा
हा हे वेकेशन हॉलिडे असली केन्ना कित्याक काम केलें ना जाय तशें काम करूं आतां म्हणटाले ते पावस पडटाचें सोल्युशन तशें जायना आयज ही वायरी पळयता फाल्यां ही वायरींचेर बाबा कोणूय पडलो भुरगो कितें जालें इन्सिडंट मागीर गव्हर्मेंटाक ब्लेम करता पयलीं कॉन्ट्रॅक्टराचेर जबाबदारी हेजेर पयलीं कॉन्ट्रॅक्टराचेर एक्शन घेवपाची गरज आसा
Sagun Gowde for Herald TV.
Recently, the High Court has asked the Goa government to come up with a proper plan of traffic management in the city. But in spite of installing the best technology in traffic management, the government has failed to have a smooth traffic management and flow plan. Today, in a special series of Street Voices, Team Herald spoke to different people to know their opinion on what are the main reasons behind the government's failure to achieve smooth traffic flow, despite installing advanced technology, and what should be done instead.
We leave no stone unturned to get to the concerns of the people and the issues they want to raise. It's your voice on your platform, Herald TV.
So, what do you think about this traffic thing happening?
Regarding the traffic, government is implementing rules, but nobody follows. Mostly, especially this tourists who are coming in Goa, they don't follow the rules. Traffic signal they don't follow. In any way, whatever direction they want to. Especially when I see near the Divya Circle or in Panjim Market over here. In the evening, mostly after 5-6 o'clock, where there is no entry, people will enter. But that should be strictly followed.
And how it can be done, like to sort all this problem like here?
Mostly I feel like this, nowadays government has installed cameras and all everywhere. That should be strictly followed. And manually they have to keep traffic police also. Maybe in a hidden place or somewhere like. With a hidden camera also it will be good. It has to be like, see, now government has implemented this camera system and all. That should be strictly followed. Now recently they said that it will be started before 22nd or something like that. I think it is not working because I see in Porvorim near showroom Even if signal is the red signal, people go directly. They don't stop. I think they have to be fined. Whoever breaks the law, means break the signal, they have to be fined, and that has to be strictly followed. Recently, I think they have built a new roads and all. And I don't know how long it will last. That has to be, see, now they have started all this technology. Even the road conditions, some places it's not okay. Okay, on a highway and main in the city side, it's okay, but still they have to take a note of this. They have to take the note that roads are proper, because mostly two-wheelers are having issues with the roads. When they come to the side of the road, like tourist people come, they ride very rashly. So if we go on the side of the road, then nowadays this drainage are open some places. Two-wheelers are tend to get with an accident, met with an accident. They tend to slip and fall down. So government has to see that.
Fishermen from Chapora have raised their voice once again on repairs of the Chapora jetty and solution to the sandbars in the Chapora river. On Tuesday, the fishermen alleged that in spite of several reminders, the authorities have failed to fulfill their demands and only conducted inspection of the jetty. Watch.
Now, once again, the issue of Chapora jetty has come back into the headlines. The fishermen have alleged that the authorities have failed to fulfill their demand in spite of having an inspection. Again, they had an inspection of the same. They have demanded proper clearance of the sandbars at the mouth of the river and also immediate repairs of the jetty.
inspection captain captain of पोर्टसाचे सर्वे करपाचें तो की आमचे ड्रेजिंग करपाचें आहा न्हू तर खंयसरल्यान कितें पळय तेणें तें आतां इन्स्पेक्शन केलां तेणें आनी जीएसटी जे पळय पयलीं येयल्ले हांगा जीएसआयडीसी तेंच्यांनी पयलीं येयले हांगा तर म्हणल्यार आमी जेटी बांदता म्हणून सांगून गेले तर आमी कॅप्टनाक आतां विचारलें अशें तेंच्यांनी तर कॅप्टन सांगता की आमचे कडेन एक तेंची एनओसी कसलीच येवंक ना कित्याक ती एनओसी येवंक ना म्हणटकूच तितून आतां कांय तरी आमी एक लेटर करून आतां मिनिस्टरा कडेन वयतलो हें सांगतात जाल्यार आतां तांकां आमी लेटर दिल्लें आहा तुमकां जाय तेन्ना ड्रेजिंग करा म्हणून आनी आमी फिशरीसाकूय सांगलां आतां हें फिशरीसान मनान घेवन हे आमची जेटी बांदूंक जायी आनी आतां कितें आतां आमी एक म्हयनो जालो बोटी बनवून केल्या त्या प्रमाणे ही जाता तितक्या फास्ट आतां जी अशी जेटी आमचे पयशे तितून ही जेटी बांदून काडपाची आनी आमकां परतें ड्रेजिंग करून ताणें सांगलें कॅप्टनान जेन्ना हे ट्रेनींग हॉटेल घालतले न्हू तेन्ना तुमकां बरें पडटलें म्हणून सांगलां आमचें तेन्ना कित्याक आतां आपूण जेन्ना आपणाक मिनिस्टरान सांगलां की अशें ड्रेजिंग कर तेन्ना हांवें मिनिस्टरा कडेन हें केलें रिक्वेस्ट केलें की तें ड्रेजिंग करून कांय फायदो जावचो ना ते कारण जेन्ना ते ड्रेजिंग मोटर घालतले तेन्ना आमकां तो फायदो जातलो ताणें सेम कॅप्टनान तें सांगलें तसो तुमकां फायदो जावंक शकता म्हणटा तो आमी केन्नाय करता म्हणटा पण 4-5 म्हयने म्हणून आतांच्यान सुरू कर सगळे भायले फिशींग करून चल्ले कित्याक जो मेरेन आमचे सँडबार हो काडिना तो मेरेन आमकां 4-5 म्हयने सुद्दां रावचे पडटले हे कारण आतां एक म्हयनो कित्याक वयर काडले आमी भियोन काडल्या वयर सगल्यो बोटी आनी आमचे गव्हर्मेंटाचें जे पालन आहा तें केलां तेच्या पयलींच आमी सुरू केलें काडपाक
आतां ही जेटी बांदूंक शकता हरशीं तें
आतां जाय तेन्ना बांद येता जेटी बांदपाक कसलोच प्रॉब्लम ना.
It is Prakash Gadekar for Herald TV.
The residents of Ponda and the PMC have placed blame on the sewerage department for the waterlogging issue. They allege that the sewerage pipelines and chambers encroached upon the municipal drains, leading to the choking of rainwater gutters. This resulted in 2 days of chaos where people had to face dirty water and sewage. The authorities worked to clear the waterlogging at Ponda bus stand, which required the digging of roads and underground drains. The situation highlighted the unpreparedness of the authorities for the monsoon season, with locals mentioning that the recent PMC election and the subsequent code of conduct further delayed the necessary monsoon preparations.
The residents of Ponda and the PMC have placed blame on the sewage department for the waterlogging issues. They allege that the sewage and pipelines and chambers encroached upon the municipal drains, leading to the choking of rainwater gutters. This resulted in 2 days of chaos where the people had to face dirty water and sewage. The authority worked to clear the waterlogging issues at Ponda bus stand, which required the digging of roads and underground drains. The situation highlighted the unpreparedness of the authorities for the monsoon season, with locals mentioning that the recent PMC elections and the subsequent code of conduct further delayed the necessary monsoon preparations.
फोंड्यान शेनवाराच्यान उदक ब्लॉक जाल्लें ताका लागून आमचे नगराध्यक्ष 9:30 हांगा आशिल्ले आनी तशेंच म्युनिसिपल इंजिनियर देसाय दीपक देसाई हांगा आशिल्ले जुनियर इंजिनियर आशिल्ले फट्टे आनी तांणी हांगा जेन्ना पयलीं तेणी थंय धाकटोसो एक पीट मारलो आनी चेक केलें तेन्ना सगळे ब्लॉकेज आशिल्ले आनी ताजे नंतर तांकां कळ्ळें की थंय ती ब्लॉकेज ते ओपन करून सुद्दां ती ब्लॉकेज हे जायना म्हणून जेन्ना हांगा जो चेंबर बांदला सिवरेज डिपार्टमेंटान तो तांणी ओपन करतकीर कळ्ळें की जो एक्झिस्टींग कल्वर्ट आसा जे गटर आशिल्ले व्हडले 2 मिटराचे ते तांणी कट केला आनी तांणी जो तेंचो जो पीट आसा तो पीट तांणी त्या गटराच्या हातून एनक्रोचमेंट केल्लो आसा हांव म्हणना की काम करता आसतना तांकां कट करचें पडलें तांणी तो कल्वर्ट कंप्लीट कट केला आनी मागीर फक्त एक ल्हानशें 40चे हे पायप घातलां प्लास्टीक रबर पायप आनी मागीर तांणी ती माती आनी मातयेचे पोती भरल्या सिमेंटाची पोती मातयेन भरल्या आनी पॅक केला आनी एक ल्हानशें पायप घातला ताका लागून हे सगळें उदक जें आसा तें ब्लॉक जाल्लें आशिल्लें सिवरेज डिपार्टमेंटान जेन्ना दुसरे डिपार्टमेंटाचे गटर कट करता तेन्ना तेणी आशिल्लें तशें तें रिस्टेट करपाक जाय आनी इतलो एनक्रोचमेंट करपाक जायनाशिल्लो तेंची जी मडकी आसा पळय सिवरेजीची ती स्टोरींग टँक आसता पळय सिवरेजीची ती एनक्रोचमेंट करून तेणी ऑलरेडी गटरान हाडलेली आसा जे काम आसता पळय तें प्लॅनिंग करून करपाक जाय
खंयच आमकां हांगा जाला आनी टायम जाणून आमकां नजरे येवना हे फर्स्ट टायम हांगा जालें आतां रिजन आमकां कळ्ळें कित्याक की अशें केन्ना हांगा जायनाशिल्लें मेजनान तुमी अंडरग्रावंड जो रोडाक जो हें केला नाला गटर व्हडले गटर तेन्ना मोडून तेमी ते पायप घातले तेच्या खातीर कितें जालें की उदक सगळें ब्लॉक जालें की पायपाची पळय इल्लो तो ब्लॉक पायपाचें तोंड जें आसा खूब बारीक आसा आनी नाला मातसो व्हडलो आशिल्लो हें घालतकीच मोडून ताणें घातिल्लो तो म्हणून तें काडलें आमी आनी सगळें उदक आतां तुमी
आता हांगा मोठे पायप घालतले काय तेच घालतले पायप मोठे घालतले काय तेच
आतां आमी आतां ना आशिल्लो न्ही हो जो हांगा पोलाच्या वताना तो व्हडलो गटरूच आसा तर तेणी म्हणून तो घातिल्लो कित्याक तो तांकां विचारपाक जाय कित्याक घातिल्लो तो हांगा तेंची चेंबरी आसा तर तेणी म्हणून तो घातिल्लो कितीन तुमकां विश्वासान घेवंक ना तेंच्यान आमकां हे काय खबर ना तेणी कितें केलें सिवरेजीन केलें तें काम हें जेन्ना आमकां खंयच्या जेन्ना हें पायप मेळ्ळें आमकां तेन्ना आमकां कळ्ळें तेणें पायप घातला.
Bureau Report, Herald TV.
Removal of mud from fields along the newly constructed and widened link road connecting Marna to Soria-Sioli has drawn the ire of farmers here who charged that they were not taken into confidence by the contractor while going ahead with the construction of the road.
Now, the farmers of Soria, Marna, Sholam have strongly opposed the removal of mud from the field side of the newly constructed bypass road from Marna to Soria, Sholam. The farmers also demanded that without requiring extra land from the farmers, the bypass road was widened by 10 meters.
The main issue हांगा चलता कितें आतां जी जेन्ना कंस्ट्रक्शन करताले फुटींग मारलेले पळय कॉन्क्रीट घालपाक तेन्ना ती माती काडलेली बेतो घालपाक तेन्ना ती शेतान थेयल्ली जेन्ना आतां कंप्लीट हायट जाली तेन्ना ती शेतान माती घातली तेच काडून ते एके देगेन करताले लोकांचे समज की आला शेताची माती उसपाता म्हणून
पूण तेंचो रॅम्प बांदता
रॅम्प आतां कित्याक ट्रॅक्टर देंवोवपाक आमकां लोक म्हणटा शेतां करपाक जाय सो ट्रॅक्टर देंवोवपाक रॅम्प जाय सो तेंच्यानी ही माती व्हरान आनीक खंय घालचे अशें ती कॉर्नरान घालपाक स्टार्ट केल्ली चार रॅम्प आसले टोटल पयले डिसिजन जाल्ले ते सो ते रॅम्प करपाक ती माती व्हरान थंय स्टॉक करताले आनी लोक जाणा कितें शेताची माती उसपाता आनी रॅम्प करता नाल्यार थंय फिलिंग करता थोड्यांचो हो समज जाला
हांगा जेन्ना लिंक रोड करताले पळय तेन्ना माती काडलेली ती सायडीक घातलेली म्हणजे बांदतना ते पयल्यार आसतले तुमी येता वयता आनी तेतून कितें आहा वाशे खिये सगळे ते आसले भितर तेन्ना आमी कितें सांगलेलें तांकां ती देगेची माती पळय आसा ती लोटोवन सकयल वयतली आनी तेतून ते खिये कितें ह्या पळय प्लेटी मीत कितें आसा ते सगळे लोटोवन सकयल वयतले आनी सकयल आमची शेतां पळय आहा शेळीन म्हणू नाका त्या हायटीन ऑलरेडी करतात तांकां तो इश्यू जातलो आसलो म्हणजे पळय एक खिये तेंचे येद्दे व्हडले आसा एक सुद्दां कोणाक लागा जाल्यार प्रॉब्लम आहा
work order is passed for this road only for existing road. They have clearly put in the work this thing order improvement of the existing road, link road between Marna and Sodie. Their work order is permanent. They are before floating the tender, they are supposed to acquire the land, which they have not done. Without acquiring the land, they have floated the tender. And now they have built this road and made it so broad. I don't know with whose permission. When I had asked for the RTI documents, I asked them, what is the meaning of improvement and extension? The road is extended. Improvement doesn't mean extension. तुम्ही इंग्लिश जाणा नको म्हणून I had asked in the PWD department. आता एनी रस्तो केला इतलो म्हणून आणि आता कितें काय माती काडल्या ती काडून सगळी शेतांनी काडून वयर व्हरून रॅम्प कोत्ता म्हणून सांगता. अरे कोणाक चलना हिंगा व्हडे घातल्यात आनी रॅम्प करून कोणाक हें करूंक ते मागीर तिका वयर करून हांगा व्हडो घालून हाव वी गोइंग टू प्लांट द पॅडी फील्ड्स हियर नाव. आनी शेतकारांक विचारप ना कांय ना दोग जाणांक विचारले म्हणून शेतकार जायना. देर आर सो मेनी फार्मर्स हियर. Before starting with the road, it was their duty to call a meeting of the farmers and ask the farmers what are their viewpoints.
Prakash Karekar for Herald TV.
The annual feast of Saint Anthony was celebrated across Goa with a display of devotion and spiritual fervor. The celebration honors and venerates Saint Anthony of Padua, known for his miracles and intercessory powers. The annual feast dedicated to him draws throngs of devotees who come to worship and seek his blessings. The feast takes place on June 13th, marking the anniversary of Saint Anthony's death. The Saint Anthony's feast was celebrated at Holy Spirit Church, Margao, with Father Amandio Valadares as the main celebrant. The festivities extended beyond Margao, as the feast of Saint Anthony was also commemorated in Ambora and various other locations across Goa.
The annual feast of Saint Anthony was joyously celebrated across Goa with a magnificent display of devotion and spiritual fervor. The annual feast dedicated to him draws throngs of devotees who come to worship and seek his blessings. The feast takes place on June 13th, marking the anniversary of Saint Anthony's death. The feast was celebrated at Holy Spirit Church, Margao, and in Ambora and various other locations across Goa.
पुढीचे जीवन सस्ताचे जीवन आमेन. आमच्या बाबा स्वर्गीच्या तुझे नाव पवित्र तुझे राज हक्कायो तुझी कशी स्वर्गात जाता तशी संवसारात जावं आणि आमचो दिसपट्टो आयज आमकां
Inasia Norona for Herald TV.
Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news and alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.